Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Counting on alum, Jinger Duggar Vuolo has been living happily with her husband Jeremy. The 30-year-old wife likes to share pictures and clips from their date nights and outdoor trips. The two tied the knot in November 2016 and lived in Texas for a couple of years before relocating to Los Angeles in 2019. Since then, the two have thrived despite living far from the Duggar family in Arkansas. However, some Redditors found out that Jinger almost didn't end up with Jeremy. Jinger has been sharing stunning pictures with Jeremy over the past few months. In February, the former Counting on star uploaded photos from their trip to North Carolina, where Jeremy was appointed to preach. They also went skiing with some of their friends and ate at local restaurants. Earlier in March, the sixth Duggar child gushed over how 2024 has been a busy year for them. "We traveled quite a bit, hosted family/friends, have been working on some new projects, and are thoroughly enjoying this season of life with our little girlies. God is so good and kind," she added. But some Reddit users think the married couple's happy life almost didn't happen due to Jeremy's past. Some Redditors discussed the possibility that Jinger Duggar Vuolo almost didn't marry Jeremy. According to the poster, there was a time when Jim Bob was disgusted by Jill's husband, Dillard, after he was caught drinking alcohol. He was threatened with rehab after he drank one beer, which makes the Reddit user wonder if Jeremy was somehow allowed to court Jinger despite his past. It was reported that Jeremy Vuolo has an arrest record for harassing a police officer. The Counting on alum also lived a worldly lifestyle due to his past as a professional soccer player. But several Reddit users said it's the other way around, as the IVLP likes men with redemption stories. Fundies love a redemption through Fundy Jesus story. Jeremy becoming Fundy after his youthful shenanigans is the perfect example of faith fixing everything. Derek had that beer after being saved, which is a bigger sin because he was supposed to have known better. Jeremy was putting on an act with Jim Bob. Jeremy is worldly enough to recognize a narcissist and knows the way to get what you want out of them is to play to their ego. He's a huge ass kisser when it benefits him. He's moved on from Jim Bob to John MacArthur. Angle, I loved watching Jeremy play Jim Bob. The questionnaire, getting really cozy with Jinger on the couch. The no visitors for 6 months rule after they moved to Laredo. The contempt thinly veiled by feigned deference. It was as enjoyable as the occasional TLC edits that subtly mocked HB and Michelle. I don't for a second believe Jinger would have gone with Jeremy, even if her parents opposed it. She has never have shown have a backbone. She is 100% a follower. Jinger has been making headlines over the past few days following a suspicious IG Stories post. The Counting on alum promoted a crib placed in her house. However, many were surprised by her post, as both of her daughters, Evangeline and Felicity, are already too big for a crib. Some Redditors from a different thread also believe that Jinger Duggar Vuolo has been preparing for a possible pregnancy. Maybe she's just pregnant again? It's not far off to think, right? I wouldn't doubt that her and Jeremy would try for a boy. I haven't heard of toddlers sleeping in a bed, but everyone's different. 3 is big for a crib, but not impossibly big. A newborn wouldn't have the mattress on the bottom level like that. So who knows? Some people keep them in the crib until the child either tried to get out or outgrows the height limit of the crib. If Eviejo never tried to get out and is as petite as she looks, they could have her in the crib. Counting on alum, Jinger Duggar Vuolo surprises her online followers with a rare glimpse of her daughters. The 30-year-old mom has been keeping things private when it comes to her kids. She no longer shares their faces online. Some of her siblings have also followed her way of giving privacy to their own children. But it seems that Jinger is slowly becoming more transparent about her family. On December 20, 2023, Jinger took to IG Stories and answered several questions from her fans. One of them is about her decision to keep her kids' faces away from the camera. According to the former Counting On star, she and Jeremy simply wanted to give privacy to their daughters. However, she clarified that they would allow them to be in the public eye when they grow up. Jinger later explained that there are pros and cons to sharing Evangeline and Felicity's faces on social media. It's also notable that her oldest brother, Josh Duggar, got arrested for CSAM, which may have played a significant role in why many of the Duggars have stepped away online. So appreciate your understanding and kind words, the sixth Duggar child said. Jinger recently took to IG Stories to share glimpses of her rarely seen daughters during their trip to Six Flags. The Counting On alum recorded her daughters trying out a carousel and carriage rides at the theme park. Felicity can be seen at the carousel horse in a pink shirt and white shorts, while her sister, Evangeline, wore a blue sweater with adorable pigtails. Jinger Vuolo also kept her daughters' faces away from the cameras for their privacy. This wasn't the first time Jinger Vuolo shared glimpses of her daughters. Last month, the Counting On alum shared an impressive picture of Felicity climbing up an indoor rock wall for the first time. She was well geared while being watched by her mother from below. It also appears that the 5-year-old has gotten into wall climbing due to her mom, who went mountain climbing with her, Jana, and Austin Forsyth earlier this year. Counting On alum Jinger Vuolo is back on social media to answer several questions from fans. The 30-year-old mom has been living happily with her husband Jeremy. She also likes to share updates about her daughters, Evangeline and Felicity, despite her decision to keep their faces away from the cameras. Recently, the mother of two shared her thoughts about having more children. Many people have questioned Jinger's way of giving privacy to her kids. She still shares updates about Evangeline and Felicity. However, the former Counting On star only posts back-facing photos of them. In December 2023, the sixth Duggar child revealed that they simply wanted to give their kids privacy while they were still young. But she clarified that she would allow them to be in the public eye if they chose to be when they grow up. Some also commended Jinger's decision, especially after the CSAM arrest of her oldest brother, Josh Duggar. Jinger recently took to IG Stories to answer several questions from the fans. One of them is her plan to have more kids in the future. According to the Counting On alum, they've been enjoying their lives with the kids at this point, but it doesn't seem to take away her desire to have more. We are thoroughly enjoying this season with the girls. We'll see, Jinger Vuolo said. This wasn't the first time Jeremy Vuolo's wife shared hints about the possibility of having a child. In February, she simply answered, "We'll see," when she was asked by one of her followers if she'd have more kids in the future. Jinger also answered another question about how she balances her life as a mother, wife, and community member. According to the Counting On alum, it can be tough to balance everything due to her kids. She also added that Evangeline and Felicity are her top priorities. She doesn't want her schedule to get too tight to the point that her kids will feel her absence. However, Jinger Vuolo clarified that being a community member is such a perfect season for them to have play dates with other families and get to know other mothers at her stage. I often have to remind myself that the house doesn't have to be spotless and everything in place before I can invite someone over. Being in community is a gift, she added.